Hey guys, welcome back. It's Dave. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give you guys a early preview of the undercard as well as the main event for Preakness Day this Saturday. I got some good responses from the Derby Day slideshow that I put out, so I just figured I would do the Preakness Day in a slideshow format as well. I started these races last night using the early past performances with no morning line, and since then I was able to dig up morning lines and put them out early so that you guys can look at, compare notes, kind of get a look ahead on some of the races. And I would love to see some comments, whether they be in the Discord or in the comment section of the video, on your opinions on some of these horses as well, if you've looked at the undercard. Right now I have up until race number 10 finished. There's 13. Well, actually, I'm only doing the stakes races. So we have race number 4. And let's just look at them real quick. We're not going to go over everything I have here, but I'll just go over my format. Let me go back. Okay, it starts out with number 4. Race 4 is the first stakes race. And the 5th race, I think, is a maiden special weight. And then race 6 begins the whole string of stakes races from there. But the format I'm using, I'm really pressed for time this week. It's going to be a crazy baseball week for me. So I'm not going to have time to use the same mega grids, as I call them, that I used for the Kentucky Derby Day, where I had to target all the matrix system factors, target ability, target Briz rating and everything. And then I also, for the Derby card, I also used to follow the figures. I took my contenders and I ran them through the follow the figures. I'm going to go solely with this particular pace progression grid and live or die with this grid here for the entire card on Saturday. If you look at the format I have, this is the same exact grid that I used in the last video I made, where I showed you how to use the shortcut to figure out the turn rating rather than have to calculate it mentally. If you didn't see that video, just go back in the library. It's the last video I did before this one, and it saves you a lot of time here. This particular grid has the fractional times converted to ratings for both the first call, second call. Then we have a rating for the turn, and we have 3 thorough capping ratings in here. Okay, thorough capping rating 1 is simply the raw times not affected by the Briz pace figures. The TC2 implements the actual Briz pace figures to this particular number here and converts it to a different rating, and in some cases brings that rating up, and other cases, as you can see, lowers the rating. And then we also have the final fraction converted to a rating along with the late pace from Briz, and then we have a combined average between the two over here. And then I have a rating that's being assessed by itself here that takes the turn average and averages out with the final fraction rating to just take a look at how the horse does from the start of the turn to the finish of the race. And then finally we have the TC3 rating, which takes into account this rating here along with the TC2 together. What I did was, when I identified my selections, I also identified based on the grid, what the grid is telling me. And again, I'm at the mercy of the pace lines I decided to use for each particular runner. But based off of where the horse was in each of the areas of the race, so TC1 is going to impact. Actually, TC1 and 2 both are focusing up to the turn, first call, second call. And as you can see, I listed where the horses may be, or the runners may be, in this particular race based off of this grid. I have the 4 coming late. I have the 6 potentially in the front, or very close to the front. And I have the 1 and the 3 pressing the pace. And with the 3 horse having some good late numbers here, especially the turn and the final fraction. So I have, as you can see, I have 4-6-1-3, or it could be 4-6-3-1. But as I said before, I don't necessarily concern myself with how I rank them, especially when I'm playing wins. If I'm going to play a win bet, I know I've said this many times before, but I'll say it again for anybody that's new watching this. I don't live or die with my particular order that I put them in. Okay, if I see this 1 horse as a huge overlay, I'm going to play it to win. I'm not going to say, you know, I don't have him ranked in the first 2, so I'm going to play him to win. Because there's nothing saying that this grid or these selections are, you know, stone cold 4-6-1-3. And then I have the same format for races 6, 7, race 8, Maryland Sprint, race 9. Got cut off a little bit down here. Race 10, and then there's 3 more left, ending with the Preakness Stakes, race 13. So the next one I will be doing is the Jim McKay Turf Sprint, and I will be doing them tomorrow. And I will add to this slideshow as I finish each race. And you'll have something to look ahead to. Maybe study. Like I said, if you're like me and you like to look ahead early, you can kind of compare notes. And please feel free to leave your comments, ask questions. The link to this slideshow is actually in the description below this video. And once you open up, all you got to do is click slideshow. You can have it on the first slide. Click slideshow, and you'll be able to watch it, or not really watch it, but really look it over right from the beginning. And that's it. All right, I am going to leave in my share privileges, or whatever you want to call them, I'm going to leave it open for comments. Okay, so people with the link, anyone with the link, will not only be able to view it, but you can comment too as well. So if you look up here, if you have a comment you want to add on a particular race, please feel free. I would love to see the dialogue going on, especially that we have 4 days still until this date, or this card goes off. And you guys can throw your comments in here about each particular race. Questions, comments, whatever it may be. All right, thanks for tuning in. And this will be, I will not be doing any updates videos. Everything will be updated on this slideshow as I move along. All right, thanks for tuning in.